Disclaimer: this video is made available by the Palmer Law Firm for educational purposes only, as well as to give you general information and a general understanding of the law, not to provide specific legal advice. By viewing this video, you understand that there is no attorney-client relationship between you and Sean Y. Palmer, nor the Palmer Law Firm. This video or its hosting website should not be used as a substitute for competent legal advice from a licensed professional attorney. Prenuptial agreements, also called antenuptial agreements, are commonly used especially by persons entering second marriages. Many older couples who have accumulated money and property desire to leave it to children and grandchildren upon death rather than to a future spouse. Others have business or professional practices they want to protect. Still others, traumatized by a messy divorce the first time round, seek to define their rights and responsibilities towards the other partner on paper. While the use of these agreements before marriage is hardly romantic, it does allow parties to express their intentions for dividing property, altering inheritance rights, limiting spousal support, and gaining an equitable share in a business if and when the marriage ends. This reduces costly and messy litigation, because potential problems are anticipated and discussed by a couple before they occur. The decision to sign a prenuptial agreement with a future spouse should be well-reasoned and carefully considered. Important financial and legal ramifications flow from the execution of a valid prenuptial agreement. Couples sometimes include personal preferences in these agreements as well. For example, it is possible to include topics such as who will do the dishes and how the children will be educated. This is valid provided the topics are not illegal or contrary to public policy. Here is a partial list of the advantages of a prenuptial agreement. Prenups reduce costly and messy divorce litigation. They invite honesty and openness between the parties before the marriage. They protect assets and property acquired by a spouse before the marriage. And it reflects the parties' intentions as to the disposition of marital and non-marital, that is to say, separate property acquired during the marriage. Prenuptial agreements aren't advantageous in all situations, however. There are many downsides. Prenups can often be seen as diminishing romantic feelings between parties. They could potentially strip a spouse of potentially valuable marital rights, such as inheritance rights or the right to collect a pension. Prenups may be hard to enforce from a practical standpoint. That would be for certain issues such as the number of times each week a wife was required to cook dinners or how many times a husband was required to do the dishes. Prenuptials might not be legally valid if they are improperly executed. You'd need to seek the advice of an experienced attorney to make sure that this is not one of the disadvantages. And prenups may contribute to the failure of some marriages over the emotional issue of trust. If you're considering a prenuptial agreement and you need some more information, please contact us at the Palmer Law Firm.